Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, this is my review recap for Zatima Season 2, Episodes 19 and 20. Dear Mama and the Ugly Truth. Baby. Whoo, child, this was heavy, right? Another heavy episode, another heavy time. Okay, you had to have your tissues on you, child. You had to have your tissues, okay? We got to say goodbye to Miss Gladys. We got to make the tough decisions. We might have to pull this plug on the life support because, baby, it's no brain activities, okay? It's no brain activities going on. So we got a loss. And at the same time that we got a loss, we also got again, a new life, a pregnancy. Baby, you get a pregnancy, you get a pregnancy, you get a pregnancy. I said, what? Rewind. What did we just say? Who pregnant? What? Child, Lord of mercy. Okay. So we got that. Then at the same time, we got Bryce over here being very inconsiderate, not even thinking about the fact that, you know, Zach has these tough decisions to make and he at the hospital with his mama. Bryce want to know what the heck is going on with his money. And we want to know too. He over here trying to make accusations and say that the money is gone because he went into business with Zach. But lo and behold, are any of us surprised? I know I'm not. No, daggone Bryce. It's you. It's you because you still was being dumb and going ahead with things that Zach told you not to. And you have caused this money to go missing. Okay. And of course we get Raggedy Gary name brought up in the mix as well, child. I said not Raggedy Gary. Whew, Bryce, you should have known, okay? So no, Bryce was not some mastermind that had an evil plan to take Zach's money. He just was dumb, okay? Now, in the meantime, we still got, of course, Jeremiah wanting a war with Zach, and we actually were able to see a human side to Miss Gladys and a human side to Jeremiah. Shout out to them, yo. This cast acted they behind off. This season brought us a lot of heavy moments, a lot of real life moments in between all of the drama, the foolishness, and the foolery. Definitely have to give them their props where that's concerned because these are things that people deal with every day. Just because somebody is an addict does not mean that they are not also human, does not mean they don't have feelings, does not mean that they don't make mistakes. So I do give them credit where credit is due. Kudos to them. And this cast came to act, baby, and that's what they did. But let's go ahead and get into this episode, y'all. Break it on down. Take it from the top. You know how we do. I'm just going to basically tell you guys what went down in episodes 19 and 20. I will save all my thoughts and feelings, y'all, for the live Tuesday at 9. Make sure y'all come through with me and your girl. Just call me EJ, okay, aka the EJ, the TV junkie, when we get into our live discussion. But honey, let's get into it, y'all. So we started out this episode. Doc had to come tell Zach, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, but mama ain't gonna make it. Okay, mama ain't got no brain activity. The oxygen to her brain was gone for too long. There's nothing we could do. We tried everything that we could. You know, Zach, of course, is not really comprehending and like realizing and understanding what the hell does this mean, right? And she's like, the chance of her making it, the possibility of her being able to come back is like impossible at this point, right? It's just not possible. And he still just kept saying, okay, what does that mean? What does that mean, right? And so we're going to have to talk about taking her off this life support. This is going to have to be a decision that you guys are going to have to make. I am truly sorry. You know, Zach, of course, is at first just no, 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 no. And Jeremiah over here, y'all not taking my mama off no support. Y'all trying to kill her. You know, of course, the doctor talking about some, you know, excuse me. And she's saying, I don't think you understand. And, you know, keep your voice down or whatever. And, you know, I might need to call in some help if you don't act like you got some daggone sense. And Fatima was like, yeah, I think you better do that. And he was like, yo, you bitch, you better shut the hell up. And of course, this sets Zach off, and Zach done punched him in the damn face again, right? Now, it made me laugh when Zach was like, well, I'm glad you did that. If you didn't do that, then security would have did it. I said, wait, security would have came and punched him in his face? Or would they have just been like, you need to get up out of here, sir, and maybe call the cops? I don't know. But nonetheless, I digress, right? Moving right along from that. Zach asked, can he go in and see his mother? And she basically was like, sure, yes, and said that she was going to have somebody come and check on Jeremiah. So now once he goes inside the room, of course, he don't know what to do. He don't know what to do. He feels lost. He got 100 different emotions going through him at the same time. Because like I said, regardless of the relationship that they had, this still is going to hurt him. It's still his mom. It's still hard to see her like that. It's like, yo, really, this is where you ended up? Like, you could have ended up in a whole bunch of other situations. Right now was no coming back from this. There's no other chances. There's nothing more permanent than death, right? And so Fatima's just basically trying to be here for him. He's also feeling really guilty, blaming himself. If I hadn't gave you the money, then you probably wouldn't, be here, whatever, right? So Fatima's just like, Zach, trying to let him know that that is not the case and this is not his fault. Now, in the midst of them being in here to see his mom, we got somebody from building coming, and I already knew where this was going. They want to speak to him, and he's like, this is not a good time at all right? So Fatima says she would step out in the hallway with him, and it's like, and who are you? Oh, that's my wife, right? Zach says. And so she go out in the hallway, and come to find out, is anybody shocked? Miss Gladys did not have no insurance. So we don't have insurance paying. And Fatima's like, well, Zach did pay for the first night, because she was saying it was $18,000 a night. I said, damn, okay, yes, these bills be high. And it was 36 so far, because those 2 nights had not been paid yet. And Fatima was like, well, Zach paid for the first night. And they said, no, sorry, but his check bounced. And Fatima's like, I'm confused, huh? Like, how could his check bounce or whatever, right? She's like, I don't know, but I know that it didn't go through. And she shows her. So Fatima's basically like, I'll see. And she's like, well, I'm going to go ahead and, talk to him and let him know about this. I get it right now. She still continues to go on and says, well, we can't, just keep her here, whatever. I heard some of the ICU nurses talking, and we're running out of beds, so we're going to need that bed. So it's like, lady, are you telling me that you're just going to unplug his mom because you're running out of a bed? She's basically like, Fatima says, so it's just business to y'all. And she says that she spoke to Jeremiah, and she's like, okay, well, what did Jeremiah say to you? Oh, he said that Zach was going to pay it. She was like, of course he did. So Fatima says again, like, I'm going to talk to him. And it's like she still was trying to continue. And Fatima was just like, girl, I heard you. Like, bye, get out my damn face, right? And so she goes back in the room, and Zach is basically like, what happened? And at first she's like, no, don't worry about it. There's nothing you have to think about today. Of course, Miss Gladys didn't have insurance or whatever the case may be, because, at first she wasn't going to tell him. And he's like, come on, just tell me. Now, Jeremiah gets in the room too. Fatima was saying, should she go back and get the doctor? And he's like, yeah, I want to talk to her. Please go. And Jeremiah comes walking in, and she was trying to get Jeremiah to leave with her. And he's like, nah, just leave him here, because he ain't gonna go with you. Just please go get the doctor. So in the meantime, we seeing somebody coming knocking at Angela's door, and she's like, what's going on? Bryce coming running in or whatever. And she was like, what was it so important? Why did you need to see me? And he's like, I need to talk to Zach. And so she now tells him, okay, that he's at the hospital with his mom. His mom is not doing good at all. He already heard Fatima say there's a family situation going on. He's sitting here, oh my God, oh, my credit card was declined. I went to the bank and they saying all my assets is frozen because, I'm in business with Zach. And I'm like, really? That's what they said? They literally told you that your credit cards was frozen because you're in business with Zach? Is that what you got out of it? Like, did you really dig and call everybody that you needed to call, and he talking about something, I don't know what Zach did, and I need to talk to Zach right now. And she's like, okay, I'm calling. So she calls and she gets Fatima. Fatima's giving her the update, it's not good, it's bad. Zach mom ain't got no brain activity. So of course we don't want to talk about what the situation is right now, because he's going through a situation. That's common freaking sense, And Fatima could even pick up in Angela's voice, like, what's going on? What happened? Was there something you needed to talk to me about? And she's just like, nah, damn girl, just call me when you think, you're done and you left there, and give me the update or whatever the case may be. So when she hang up, now he literally was just sitting next to her and could hear the whole damn conversation. So I'm confused why he was damn confused. She hang up and she telling him like, oh, I didn't get a chance to speak to her about the situation. And he's like, what? Why not? And she's like, because his mom is not doing good. Like, he have to sit here and make the decision of whether to take her off the life support or not. Oh, I still need to talk to Zach. I can't believe this is happening to me. Nothing like this has ever happened to me. What did he do? What did he do? And she's like, boy, let me get you a damn drink so you can calm your freaking nerves down. And while I'm at it, make me one too, because you making me lose my damn mind at this point. Okay, she ain't say that, but I know that's what I would have been saying. So we get back to the hospital with Jeremiah and Zach, and nobody is shocked. I don't care if you have the best relationships in the daggone world, okay? When it comes to sickness and death, people gonna act out. We gonna argue, we gonna carry on. So it was no difference here. And the fact that these two don't have the best of relationship, it was like, what do you expect, right? So in the meantime, he's telling Zach how he don't know shit, and he's like, I'm not signing nothing, you not signing nothing. He like, she's still breathing, I'm not gonna let you take her away. He's like, you haven't been around her in all these years, so how would you know what she want? Because Zach was saying that she wouldn't want to live this way, and he was like, bro, she's already gone. And he's like, no, she's not, she's still breathing, can't you see? Clearly Jeremiah is in and down, right? And Zach is saying how he gonna sign the papers, and he like, no the hell you not. He was like, you can't let them take you off this machine. They trying to get in your head and make you take her off, but it's basically murder or whatever, right? And so he was like, I know I ain't signing shit or whatever. And Zach just keep going, Jeremiah. So, of course, we get to a point where Zach is saying to Jeremiah, yo, when does the check come? That's what you waiting on, huh? Does it come in a week? Does it come in 2 weeks? And he's saying how he knows Jeremiah. And listen, maybe he do know Jeremiah. Maybe he did want the check. There's plenty of people out here, especially when you're talking about drug addicts, that will be going after the money or worried about when money is coming. There's also the flip side that two things could be true. He could want the money, but he also cannot want his mother to go. I don't doubt, regardless of how much of a drug addict he is, that he don't care and have love for his mother, and that he's just taking the situation in a different way than Zach is taking it, and he just don't want to accept it, as well. There's plenty of people that have actually had to use that last check to help with burying the person, to help with taking care of whatever their final needs are. So I'm not saying whether Zach was right or wrong with that assessment, but at this point, I just feel like, really for the last probably 3 episodes, we were going to who could go the lowest and who could hurt each other the most with our words. And at times we getting into physical fights and all of that different kind of stuff too. And we're thinking the worst of each other instead of kind of looking in and on our own selves. We both, as I continuously say, are pointing fingers at each other. And when you're pointing one forward, there's 3 pointing back, right? So then we had this other part with Nate and Tony coming up, and Nate does give Fatima an apology, and of course we gotta do typical Nate and being extra read all about it, right? He's over here talking about you the best, you a good woman. I wish I would have seen it before. I really apologize. I'm really glad that you're in Zach's life and he got you by his side or whatever. None of the other women would have been able to handle it the way that you were able to handle it. They probably would have just been giving him good head. And it's like, really, Nate, did we need you to say all of that? Tony saying how they went through so much, and did he tell you about it? And he also agrees that she's a good woman, and he's glad that she's been there, right? He even turns around and tells Nate, like, you always gotta just, let your mouth get you into trouble and do too much. Nate over here trying to get a hug from her, and she like hell to the no. Now she does also blame him for the whole situation with Belinda, saying she was down with it. And he was like, no, I was messing with her. I'll admit that part, right? But I didn't have anything to do with that. And, I wasn't down with that at all. That was on her. And she says, apologies, it's fine. But we have to see changed behavior, which is true. And he's like, I got you. He's saying he going to be on some different stuff from this point forward. Tony says he have to go back to the barbershop and, let him go ahead and put his phone number in her phone, because she was saying she didn't have it. And he want her to be able to call him with any updates. Nate was going to put his number in the phone too, but she was like, no, okay, I don't need you to put nothing. I'm good. So, they go ahead and leave. And shortly after that, Zach does come out. The doctor does come up to him again, and he just wants to verify, like, yeah, I really did do everything that y'all could do. And she's saying, yeah, there's no brain activity, and we would need both of them to sign off on this. It's not just Zach, unless Zach has power of attorney, or either Jeremiah has power of attorney. And he's like, no, they not gonna have nothing like that. They ain't into power attorney and all of that different kind of stuff. They're not that type of people. And so obviously both of them would have to agree to this. And he's like, I already know Jeremiah not gonna do that, right? But the doc lets him know there's no other way around that. So at this point he's like, yo, I just want to go home, take a shower, and change. And Fatima's like, yeah, I think that's a good idea, right? So he asked her to come home with him so they could do that. Now we get to the house, and of course, who you think we gonna have outside? Deja, right? And it's like, Deja, this is not the time. We don't care. We don't want to hear from you. We not in the mood. She talking about something. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get y'all money as soon as possible. Okay, it's gonna be quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm just trying to be nice to y'all. Why y'all always gotta be mean to me? She over here talking about how you doing, Fatima. Fatima like, girl, we don't want to see you. Like, take the damn hint, right? And so she talking about, y'all not gonna invite me in, y'all not gonna offer me no drink. No, Deja, no. Okay, so they go inside, and we have more of just Zach saying, are you gonna be there with me? I know that you would be a great mom one day. You not leaving me, right? He's talking about something. You gonna go get the rest of your things and bring them back. And she like, yeah, I'm gonna get them, but I don't want to leave you right now. How are you feeling right now? Like, it's about you. He's saying, I don't even know. I'm feeling numb. And she's like, yeah, that's understandable. And she's saying, I really think you should talk to Dr. Reed, which I think is the first thing we should have been saying. He can help you process and everything. Definitely agree with that. But I was like, wait a minute. So we just really did just make up because of the situation that's happening right now with Miss Gladys. Like, we still really not gonna deal with everything that has been going down and the reason why you left in the first place, and we're just getting back together and you're just going to get your things, Fatima. Okay, if y'all say so. I'm not too happy about that part, you guys. I will say that. Now, he's reflecting on his life as a kid and how things come back to you as an adult. And she's singing, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that have to be worked through. And she worked through a lot of stuff, of hers. And he's saying that she has rode with him through all these different things. And, she says she sees what he can be and where he can be, not just what he is right now, and it's like, well, what do you think I could be? Oh, a great man and better every day, and he's like, my mom never told me that, and she's also telling him he could be a great dad. So I kind of felt like we was going somewhere, because we had a lot of, you could be a great dad and you could be a great mom. A lot of baby talk going on. Okay, I caught it. Y'all threw it and I caught it. So now, he brings up to her how he feels like Jeremiah is just trying to get her checked. The longer she stays alive is, what he could get. And she's like, you sure about that? You know that? And he was like, he's going to figure out a way to cash it. So she's like, okay. He said Jeremiah going to be Jeremiah regardless. And she's like, damn. So he was like, in the midst of that, I can't wait for us to be parents. And I'm just like, how we jump from that to that? But okay, So of course that's when he was saying he would be a better father than what he had, and he just would do for his kids in ways that, was never done to him and all of that. And so, when he was asking what kind of husband she think he would be, a great one, I hope, or whatever. You think so? Yeah. But she want him to go ahead and try to lay down and get some sleep. And he's basically like, of course I can't sleep. And, she's like, well, I got something to help you sleep. And he over here talking about something. I know you ain't talking about sex right now. Which was funny because typically Zach would be the one bringing up sex. But that's the furthest thing from his mind right now. And she's like, nah, gummy that could help you sleep. So now in the meantime, Bryce done brung his behind over here with Angela. Now, obviously, he's going to come here to want to talk about the money situation. So I don't get why we just popped up over here at the damn house. I'm assuming that Fatima must have called her or either text her to let her know that they was going to be coming home. So now we just coming and we just walking in without knocking. In the process of them, even walking up, Deja, of course, is still outside being nosy. And she talking about he's sexy for a Chinese man. And Angela corrects her like he Japanese. And she talking about some y'all gonna have cute babies and telling them, Bryce to call her, and he talking about some, okay, you got time to stop and talk about that, but you supposed to be so worried about the money. But anyway, he get in, they saying, I'm sorry. And then here go Bryce, did you get my messages? He's like, yeah, I seen you call, but I just got a lot going on. He like, yeah, I get it. In the meantime, Angela's going, yeah, Bryce, no, don't say nothing now. And they like, what is it? What's going on? And he's like, well, I mean, he has to know. I know it's not the right time and it's not good timing or whatever, but he does need to know. And Zach is just like, what? And here go Bryce, all the accounts are frozen. And Zach is like, what? And he's like, yeah, they're all, frozen, all the assets, all the accounts or whatever. And they said it's because I'm associated with you. I keep wanting to know who the hell is they that said that. And Zach is like, are you positive? And he's like, yeah, I'm letting you know because that's what they told me when I called. So of course Zach is like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. What else could possibly go wrong at this damn point in time in my life? Like typical, right? Because Zach always thinks that the whole world is against him any damn way. So now moving into episode 20, The Ugly Truth, of course we picking right back up from there. And he's trying to put all this blame on Zach and make it seem like it's something that Zach did. And I'm sure at first Zach is probably thinking about the SEC thing because that popped in my head for like maybe 2 seconds. But I was like, even that don't make no damn sense. I'm like, nah, Bryce done behind. Obviously still either went in on that deal that he wasn't supposed to, or some kind of way Shady Val took something out of it that she wasn't supposed to. But it was like it had to be one or the other with that or whatever. I just didn't see it being that Bryce was purposely trying to set up Zach or whatever, right? And so they was Fatima was saying, like, I told y'all this wasn't a good time. And so Bryce was basically like, well, this was not something that, could wait till Monday or whatever, right? And so at first Angela was saying like, maybe we should just leave, let everything kind of calm down for a minute or whatever until we know what's what. And Bryce was giving attitude. He was giving a whole lot of damn attitude, talking about, no, we not going nowhere. And I know that. Even one time, Fatima was looking at him like, what? And, of course, Zach's whole thing is like, damn, my money is gone. Oh, God, or whatever, right? And so, Fatima at first was trying to be like, I understand that, but then she looked at him like, hold up, and then she was like, let me go and talk to him. And then Bryce talking about some, this is a lot. What am I supposed to do? Nobody gives a damn what you do, Bryce, because of course once Zach, get back, he's like, don't leave, don't go nowhere. I just checked the damn account and I spoke to the bank and the accounts are frozen. They're not frozen, they're overdrawn. My personal account covers the business account, and all my damn money is gone because apparently you forwarded some damn money for the property. He was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And then he's like, I wrote a check. He was like, yeah, a check for money that we don't have. And he was like, all that money came from my damn account. Like, why would you do that? And he was like, well, they told me it's fine. He was like, Bryce, my money covers the business account. And I'm like, well, Zach, why do you have your money covering the business account too? This is a lesson in here for you, right? So now the account is overdrawn, so it's not even froze. So who was that? Who was Bryce talking to all this time with the they? And it's a great investment. And I wrote a check, and it's like, I didn't mean to drag you into it. And Zach is basically like, but you did. So he's like, well, I'm gonna get this all sorted up. Don't worry about it, right? And he was like, I don't know, Zach. I don't know what happened or whatever, right? Oh, Gary, let me call Gary. Because at one point he was even like, unless it's something with Val, let me call her. And Fatima was like, that's your answer right there. But it's funny that you bringing up Gary now. When Zach originally asked, did Gary have anything to do with this? And was he the so-called silent partner that you was trying to mess with? You told him no. Now all of a sudden you bringing his name back into the damn mix. So he talking about some, give him a minute, let him make a call. He gonna check this MF and all of this. And he make the damn call and come back over and is like, oh, Gary pulled out of it without telling me. Don't worry, Zach, I'm gonna fix this. And he go running out the door, and Angela say she's sorry and walk out with him. And it's just like, of course, it's always something now. Of course, you got Fatima telling him, I got your back. Don't worry about it. If you need any money or whatever, I'll cover you with it. And of course, typical Zach, he talking about some, no, don't worry about it. I'll work it out. And she's like, yeah, well, if you don't, then I got you. Like, we a team, right? So we get over back to Angela's house, and Bryce is there with her. Apparently he called his dad and he's able to just get the money back. I got it. And she's like, okay, I'm glad handle it or whatever, because Zach was pissed. And then he's saying, yeah, definitely. And he's telling Angela, thank you or whatever, right? That he gotta go. And I was like, you know what, Bryce, I really want to jump through the damn TV and slap you. You better be happy your father got it, because you a damn dummy. So now Fatima gets a call from Angela and says, she got Zach to go to sleep for a minute and she trying to run out, okay, do a quick errand, take care of something, run to the hospital and talk to Jeremiah about this whole situation before Zach wakes back up. And she tells Angela, girl, I got something to tell you. And Angela's like, what? You can't just bring up things like that and not tell me what it is. Like, tell me. And she just starts laughing like, I'm going to tell you later. And I said, what you got to say, girl? Okay, spill the damn beans, Miss Fatima. But she don't. Okay, she go head over to the hospital. And of course, at first, Jeremiah's giving her the typical, what are you doing here? What you coming for? Of course, he's still gonna call her out her damn name again. Okay, that punch that Zach gave him ain't do much or nothing. Okay. And she like, listen, you got one more time to do that. But she tells him she work at a law office. He like, well, good for you. She like, yeah. And basically, they deal with a lot of cases dealing with family and divorce. And I can run it up, honey. Okay. They can give Zach power of attorney, look into this whole situation, see that there's no other means and way for Miss Gladys to be able to pull through, and on top of that, do a drug test on you and show that you out here incompetent and on drugs, and you would lose. But I don't want to go that route, even though I can or whatever, right? And he's like, I know you said, he said that he probably told you that I just want the money. And she like, this ain't about what he said or didn't say or whatever, right? And he's like, she telling him that woman in there is your mother, and she's gone. Like, that's the shell of the body. That's not her. There's no brain activity. There's no vision. She can't eat. She can't speak. Would you want to be laying in there like that? And he's like, no. And do you want to see her laying in there? Do you think she would want that? No, she would be cussing me out. So they do actually have a moment where he's actually acting civil, and he does hear what she's saying. It just hurts him to, think about his mom being gone. And she gets that. And he was saying, like, I'm not a bad person. And she was like, I don't think you are. He's saying, I want my mama, And I was like, oh, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I shed a little thug tear, okay? So, she told him he can't be delusional and stuff like that, right? He got to see things for what it is, and he have to really make a tough decision. And she was like, I don't think either one of y'all bad. I think that both of y'all was put in, positions where y'all dealt with things the best that y'all could, period, point blank, and whatever, right? And I know this is hard, but you have to make this decision. So, at the end of it, he actually apologized for calling her out her name. He asked could he get a hug, and then she did give him the hug. He cried on her like, I'm so sorry. And she was like, it's okay, okay. So now, Zach wake up and he coming down. Bryce did call him and tell him that he got it, and he like, good. He was like, my dad is going to give me the money. So Zach was like, all right, just get it fixed. So he's calling Fatima's like, where the hell are you at? I don't woke up and you not home. And she basically said she went out to take care of Erin. Of course, she didn't tell him exactly what took place. And she tells him maybe you might want to try to have a conversation with Jeremiah again. And he was like, man, it would take an angel from heaven to get him to switch things around. And she is like, you never know. You know what I'm saying? I've seen miracles happen. And then when he was like, well, how did you even find out I was at the hospital in the first place? She was like, Connie. And he was like, Connie? Like, what the hell? And she like, yeah, she actually called me. And she had great things, to say about you or whatever, right? But he was like, there's nothing else going on between me and her. I hope you know that. You get it. She's saying, yeah, she get it. He was like, you do? She said, yeah. And he was like, she's just matured, as far as Connie, a whole lot. Because back in the day, she was a wild girl, okay? And Fatima was basically like, you don't say. So they was able to have actually like just little moments where she was able to make him smile or whatever, and he was saying that he would think about it as far as going to talk to Jeremiah, and she was like, thank you. Now, in the midst of them having this conversation, the phone rings, and the doctor is calling to say that mama done had a cardiac arrest, and more than likely, she's not making it through the night, and by the time he gets there, she's gone. So, I mean, on the one hand, I think that it is kind of like, they didn't have to make the decision. They didn't have to pull the plug. She went on her own, And so by the time he gets there, Jeremiah's in there. He's like, she gone, but she's still warm. And they actually have a moment where they reminiscing when they was kids and when they bought her flowers. And, he telling her, I don't have no money for a funeral. Jeremiah tells Zach that, and Zach is like, I got it. And she was like, she wouldn't want us to fuss, okay? And Zach is like, okay, got it. And he was like, when we brought her those flowers home or whatever and gave it to her, she had basically knocked them out his hand because she was saying that, she thought they were bad luck. She wasn't a flower person and she was superstitious or whatever. And according to her, when flowers die, it means someone or something in your life went with it. And so, they were able to kind of just reminisce on that part. And he also told Zach that there's actually something for him at the house. And he like, for me? He was like, yeah. He was like, what is it? And he was like, just when you get a chance, come by and get it. And so, he's like, okay. And then he's telling him like, it actually like looks good. Like he's a whole different person because at this point, his high has worn off and he's actually sober in this moment, and he was like, I haven't seen you sober in like the longest damn time, in years. And Jeremiah was like, well, don't get too used to that, because trust me, I'm gonna be getting high as soon as I get up out of here, right? Because it's just hard for him to function with this and deal with it, and that's the way that he's choosing to deal with it. And he brings up that Jeremiah has kids, Jeremiah saying everything he loves is gone now. And he's like, that's not true. You got kids, bro, and you got me or whatever. He was like, my kids don't love me and you don't love me, and all of that. But, Zach was saying, I don't hate you, bro. I hate the things that you do. There's a big difference. And he was actually telling him that, he would be willing to help him. He would be willing to help him to get help. And Fatima's like, yeah. But of course he says he's gonna be okay, right? And that the only person that loved him is gone now, right? So he says, he apologizes again, and he tells him to come by and get the stuff, but he says he can't take it and he needs to go ahead and get up out of here, right? And then him and Fatima are standing there, and she says, I'm gonna step out for a minute so you can say goodbye to your mom. But of course he's like, no, stay here with me. And he just thanks her again, like, you may not have been the mom that I wanted you to be, and we didn't have the relationship that I wanted us to have, but thank you for giving me life, and I promise you that I'm going to be, the best that I can be, and that you're going to be proud of the father that I'm going to become to my kids and things of that nature. And he go ahead and give her a kiss. And when they leaving, he does stop by to pick up whatever this box is that his mom left for him. And Connie stops and talks to Fatima for a minute and says she's sorry to hear that she's gone and she wasn't expecting this. And she was like, man, Miss Gladys wasn't no joke back in her day, right? And when do we think the funeral was going to be? Let me know and all of that stuff so I could be there. And so Zach comes down with the box, and it's like a tape, VHS tape. And he like, who the hell even has VCRs? So Fatima says, they do have one at the office, and right now, this time of night, it don't usually be, anybody there. Everybody's gone, so they could go in and watch it there. And he's like, I'm nervous. I don't think I want to watch this. Can you watch it first? And she's like, nah, I'm with you. We gonna watch it together. And we basically see a little Zach and a little Jeremiah and his mama. Aww. And, they at this park playing, and he like, Dag, I don't even have no memory of this. Like, when the hell was this? And she's just giving them kisses, telling them that she loved them, playing with them, chasing them around. And then she goes and picks the camera back up, and she's like, Jeremiah and Zach, I love y'all, and I hope that y'all can forgive me one day, maybe when y'all get grown or whatever, but I have to leave y'all. And he's just like, she did love me, and Fatima's like, yeah, she did, and it may not like have the answers to everything from this, but at least it can be something, and you have that memory now, even though you don't remember it from having this tape. And he says again how he's gonna be this great dad or whatever, right? And she's like, yeah, you sure are, okay, and you would be. And then he's like, well, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute, like, are you saying you're pregnant? And it's like, yeah, we're pregnant. I'm like, wait, when was this? Like, when did we take the test? When did we find out? What made us take the test? What made us think that we were? Like, did we know this whole time? What? Child, Lord of mercy, is about to get even messier and messier, honey. What did y'all think about this, y'all? What did y'all think about it? Put it in the comments. Let me know, okay? Tell me what you like. Tell me what you didn't like. Tell me what you rated. Anything that I left out, let's discuss it down there. Pull it all in the comments, child. What are we thinking? What are we feeling? Let's talk about it, okay? Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you are so inclined, give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky, y'all. Till next time, toodaloo.